What is going on, Buckeye Nation? Another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks coming back at you. This is the recap of the Ohio State versus Purdue Boilermakers, 41-7. Um, this is the recap. Once again, before I get started, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. So let's get to it, man. I thought it was a pretty smooth, efficient day for everybody. Got another road win at a place that's been very difficult for us over the years since like the year 2000. I think they said we're like 3-5, like not even like top teams in the Big Ten. We usually do pretty good on the road except Purdue. So it was very dreary, rainy, wet, just nasty Midwest football weather. And I thought like I said, I thought it was pretty efficient. Kyle McCord, I think he went for a 16 of 28 with 276, 3 touchdowns, QBR of 88.4. I thought he was okay. He wasn't like spectacular, perfect, but he was efficient. That's what I guess that's what you want in offense. Brian Day wanted to see them execute a little bit more efficient because we know what we got this upcoming week and that type of defense they have. But I thought Kyle McCoy controlled the offense for the most part. I think he missed a couple throws here and there, but a lot of drops. I was upset about the drops. I mean, the first play of the game for like a 9-yard gain, Julian Phillips dropped a out route. So it's like, come on, guys, we got to get used to catching the ball in bad weather. Take the gloves off. You know, we got to wipe our hands. We got to get ready because the ball is going to be kind of slick. It's going to be wet. We got to get used to that. So, but other than that, just the drops. I thought his numbers probably could have been up to like the 300 range, maybe add another touchdown. But I thought he was pretty efficient, no turnovers. I think he fumbled once. I think he kind of panicked. I'm still a little. I think sometimes he gets a little antsy in that pocket, and I thought he was throwing off his back foot a lot this game because they was bringing pressure, and he has to be careful with that because throwing off your back foot can be dicey. You kind of lob it up there, and it gives a chance to defense to kind of get under it, make a play on the ball. So this week, hopefully they work on stepping into the pocket and stepping into the throws because he's gonna have to be accurate against Penn State this week. But against Purdue, he threw a nice ball to Marv. He threw a beautiful ball to Carnell Tate down the seam. That was a beautiful ball. Yeah, that looked like it had some velocity. It was on the money, especially in that type of weather. That was a good ball. I love to see that. Threw a couple touchdowns to Cade. It was like off an RPO. He pulled it and like a tight end shallow cross. But it was working that game, and I thought he looked pretty good. The running game looked a lot better. We didn't have Trevion, but I think they said he could have played this week, but you didn't want to risk it with Penn State because it's going to be a physical. The next 2 weeks are going to be really physical for this team. We got Penn State who's going to be a very physical team, and then you got to go to Wisconsin, who Luke Fickell has those boys playing real physical football on the defensive side. So it's going to be 2 back-to-back games. So he's going to carry a lot of load these next couple games. So I think that was a smart decision to keep him out. I don't know what's going on with Mayan. But we definitely was down because Chip got hurt. He got kind of took a nice hit. I think he was kind of got caught in between. I think he kind of lost his footing and at the same time lowering his shoulder, and the guy came up and hit him pretty good. So lo and behold, who was right there in the weight, man? Dallin Hayden, man. That dude got something to him, I believe. He's not the biggest back, but he sees the hole. He's quick to it. He got really good feet. That's what running backs need. They need really good feet. And I think that it's got some decisions to make now, with Chip. We don't know how he's going to be. Like he's going to be in a concussion protocol. Mayan, I don't know if he's still banged up or whatnot, or doghouse. And you got Trey, but Dallin, man, he's just always there, right? He's just always that guy who, whenever we need him, he shows up and he plays big. And I thought he ran hard. He broke some tackles. He ran hard. He saw the hole. And credit to the offensive line, man. And I'll get to them in a second, but they was moving some people around. But all in all, it was a very efficient day for the running backs. For the running game in general, I thought it was pretty efficient. I like the gap schemes. I like the pulling guards. Like it was less stretch, more counters, gap schemes. I saw a lot of crack in the end or crack in the corner. on doubles and going on the outside like a jet sweep, like a sweep play. And I like that we got Xavier some carries. Man, I love how he runs the ball. Like I know some people likes those bruising backs and they can carry it low, but man, for that dude, I love he runs so smooth on the ground. It's like he's almost tiptoeing on the ground. He's so smooth and so light on his feet. Oh, I love the way he runs the ball, man. I love it how he can just reverse and he's just so smooth back there. I love Xavier Johnson's game, man. I like to get him on the outside. I almost feel like on jet sweeps or like when we try to get a Mecca. A Mecca is like a very, he's a good runner. He's a big strong runner, but almost like we should give Xavier a little bit more shots because he can see the hole, his cutbacks. I feel like Mecca, he doesn't see the cut. He's not as light on his feet like Xavier. Sometimes those cutback lanes would be right there, and he sees them, and he's really good at it, man. So I thought he ran the ball pretty good. Just giving a change of pace, little wiggle back there. I feel like we don't have no guys that can make a couple people miss and take it to the distance, man. We missing that in his offense. I don't know if that's like maybe not a Ryan Day thing, but at Urban, man, we have plenty of guys that could make you miss and take it to the distance, man. Had a little bit of wiggle, so I like Xavier Johnson getting the ball. I like that. Dallin Hayden ran the ball hard. Tripp when he played, he ran the ball hard. So running game was very efficient, man. Now receivers usually we don't have to say much about the receivers because usually they are pretty consistent, but they had a lot of drops. I think Marv had like three. Xavier missed one deep. I don't know if the ball came up too close to him, or maybe he didn't judge the distance. But I feel like that was a catch he could have made, But uh, Julian dropped one. Like I don't know, it was just weird. Maybe playing in the rain, but I think it rained against Maryland, or it was kind of wet against Maryland, and that they handled it just fine. So I don't know. I don't know if it's concentration. I don't know if it's just kind of lackadaisical, kind of lost focus. Trying to almost, or maybe looking ahead. Maybe you kind of feel like, oh, we got this game in the bag. But Marvin dropped like three, kind of got one, could have had a touchdown, kind of bobbled it and stepped out, wasn't like real clean. I just felt they were always like they were like, I don't know, it was like hitting their hands, and they had to double clutch it. It was really weird. But all in all, I think Marvin had I'll look at the stats here in a minute. Uh Marv had 6 for 105, and he had like a touchdown. Carnell, hey, that freshman, like I really like Julian Fleming. Like I think he's a good blocker. I think he's a solid receiver, but he doesn't have, and trust me, I'm not judging these receivers. These are the big time divisional athletes, but sometimes players have like that it factor. We saw it with Garrett his freshman year. We kind of saw it with Olave. Like you could tell, like something's different about this guy. Like he's just something. He's always in the right place. He's always making plays. It's the way he moves, the way he acts. And I think Cardinell's that guy, man. I think we should really try to get him the ball, or he should be on the field against Penn State, because I think he can have like that Olave type of feel in 2018, where it was like he's just always coming up with like big catches. He's kind of quick. You know what I mean? I really like that kid, man. I'm not saying you take Julian off the field, but I think he needs to be in there. I really do. Like I really like that Cardinal Tate kid. Uh, but receivers for the most part, they were okay. Like I said, it wasn't a perfect day. It wasn't a clean game at all. But they gonna have to make plays against Penn State. We know Penn State is gonna be man to man pressing. They're gonna have to make some plays. They're gonna have to go up top and make some plays and make some big time plays and big time catches and contested catches, because Penn State is they're gonna make it really difficult for the receivers. But all in all, we just need to see better execution from the receivers. Offensive line, this is to me the best game yet, in my opinion. I watched the USC and Notre Dame game last night, and USC offensive line was getting Caleb sacked, and he was getting killed in there. So I guess the offensive line pass pro hasn't been that bad because they made USC line look awful. Now I don't know how good they are, the ratings of what they are, but as far as blocking, run blocking, I thought they looked pretty good. I thought they looked pretty good. And like I said, a lot of counter, a lot of gap scheme, the pulling, the guards, pulling the tackles. I thought it looked really good. I really did. Now it's a different animal next Saturday, this Saturday coming up, but I thought the line, maybe they can build off that. Remember, I always talk about, stacking good days, stacking good days, stacking good days. I think if you can stack some good days, get some confidence, it's going to have to be a lot more violent, a lot more physical this week, but I don't think Penn State the front seven is really good. So we're gonna have to stay on schedule. Running backs gonna have to run hard. It's gonna be one of those games where it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna be they just make it difficult for you, Penn State, since forever. Like I can't think of the last time we blew Penn State out really. Even when they had those sanctions, I think they had like maybe a couple down years, and then it was like James Franklin took over, and for the most part, man, they just always make it ugly for us. Even though we've like 0-7, I think Ryan Day's like 7-0, or I think he's like 7-0 or 6-0 or whatever. Uh, they just make it really difficult for Ohio State. Even back when we played when Trussell was there, and even a little bit when Urban, they just make it really ugly for us. So it's gonna be that type of game. But I thought the offensive line, thought they played really well. I thought they played well. I thought hopefully they gained some confidence. I believe Josh Simmons had like one holding call that was a bad one, so he just got to clean that up because it took us. We were trying to it took us out of rhythm. This offense, this is not the C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields where we can get off schedule and they can kind of get us back in a rhythm with some big time throws. We have to stay on schedule with this offense, and it's important next week that we stay on schedule because it's going to be difficult to move the ball against Penn State. So every execution that we get, we can't have false starts, delay games, holding penalties. We have to stay sharp. So, but I like what I saw from the offensive line. But last but not least, I want to say this for last. I've been seeing Twitter through the game. I've been seeing a lot of podcasts talk about this, about Devin Brown coming in for that package. A lot of people saying they didn't like it. Maybe I'm in the minority, but man, I liked it. I liked it. I like something, a change of pace. I like that you have to make sure you account for him, a person who really can pass it and can run it in the red zone. So the defense has to account for that. They have to account that he can play action and throw a pass. So I liked it. I like another weapon. I'm all about getting more weapons on the field. We got to score touchdowns. You're not going to be Penn State. You're not going to be Michigan with field goals. You got to score touchdowns when you get into that red zone. And that's been Achilles heel for Ryan Day teams. He's unfortunately, should have a national championship already and probably been to like 3 national championship games if we could score in the red zone. So why not put a weapon down there with an offense who hasn't really been lighting it up all season? I liked it. It worked one time. I think he gained first down, like a nice run. If he would have cut it upfield, if he would have cut it upfield, he would have easily scored. But he kind of stayed on the outside. I understand, and then it worked on a court like almost like a quarterback power, almost like a quarterback power in a sense. And then it worked again. Like it would have scored again, like a quarterback counter. They pulled the guard. And it was they're Division I players. They hit him perfectly on his hands. He fumbled the ball. A quarterbacks tend to do that because especially him, he hasn't been playing. So he hasn't been getting hit. I liked it. It would have scored again. So we can't, yes, the fumble was bad. We can't do that, obviously. Thank God it didn't cost us. But we can't sit here and say, well, it did work. I don't like it. I don't think we scored. I don't think we scored either times if he wasn't in the game running. That's just my God honest truth. The first time he was in, he ran for like 10 yards. Then they pulled it and it was like a counter trade. He pulled it. Oh, he didn't pull it that time. He let Chip have it, and Chip got us to the one, and he ran a quarterback power. So that it worked. And I'm glad that Ryan Day, after the fumble, he put him back in. Although he was a little cautious, but I liked it. I think he tried to throw off of it. It wasn't a good throw. Once again, he hasn't been playing. He hasn't been throwing the ball. Give him some time. But I like the package. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. I liked it. So I don't know. That's my take on that. I don't know if we'll see it against Penn State, but shit, why not, man? What do you have to lose? Like, why not? We got to score. We're gonna have to score. Like, we get a chance to get in the red zone. We can't kick field goals. We're gonna have to score. So that's just my take on that. I've been seeing a lot of people saying they don't like it. They pulling off the man. I liked it. It would have scored. It would have scored 2 touchdowns. He fumbled. He did. It didn't cost us. Grow from it, learn from it. I'm pretty sure he will too. But man, I liked it. So that's my all. Hopefully we see it some more this season, at least on short yardage. Why not? You know what I mean? But yeah, that was it for the offense, man. I thought the offense had an efficient day. They put up 47 against a Power 5 opponent, a Big Ten opponent on the road. Not bad. Like I said, Purdue, they're not like a great team. I think the head coach Walters. I think he's turning around that program. I really do. I think he's gonna lift it up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But they were just a little bit outgunned, and it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But I thought they played pretty good through the injuries they had. But I thought the offense was efficient. 41 is not bad, but we got a big test this Saturday, and we'll go from there. Now we'll switch it off to the defensive side of the ball. I thought the defensive side of the ball. Uh, they look pretty good. It's kind of a slow start in my opinion. They kind of let Purdue march it down. I know people say, "Oh, those are scripted plays," and they do a lot of research and they know what defense you're gonna be in. But yeah, it was still a little too weak for me. Like a little soft. They came out sleepwalking a little bit, and they got caught. You know, what I mean, you can't do that. You got to stay locked in because against the better teams, man, like you got to get people off third downs. You got to make it tough for them. But once the defense got turned on, you could definitely tell they're just really like, especially in that back end, they're just really suffocating teams, man. Like uh Hudson Card, I never, he's not like a big time quarterback, but he's played some football games. He played for Texas. He lit U of I up. Like this is not a guy. He played good against Fresno State. It's not a guy who's like a slouch or a first time starter. He's a veteran quarterback. He was a little banged up, but I like the defense. I mean, they kind of had his way. He only completed 13 passes. Like that's like really good. Like he threw the ball 32 times. He only completed 13 passes. He had 126 yards and 1 touchdown kind of late in the second half. Like that's what you want, man. Like that's what you want as a defense. You made it really difficult on a quarterback. He wasn't able to set his feet. He didn't get it comfortable. The secondary is just really, really, really stifling. Like it's almost like you can have anything. We're gonna make the tackle up neat. They play a lot of zone, but man, I thought the defense did his job. I thought Jim Knowles, he started to turn up the pressure. The linebacker blitzes coming off the edge, they twisted up the middle, the linebacker blitz, the A gaps. Like it was getting filthy in there, man. And I like to see that. I said it last video. I like Jim Knowles. I like blitzing Jim Knowles. I do. I like putting pressures on a quarterback. If we can't get to him with 4, I like it. And I saw a little bit out today. Like I said, you gotta obviously it's gonna happen against Penn State. You're gonna have to make the guy uncomfortable. The Aller kid, he likes to he doesn't throw the ball over 20 yards. I think he's like not that good, or they don't even uh I think he only completed 1 over 20 against UMass. But anyways, I'm not gonna go to Penn State just yet. I'm gonna say that video. But I thought the defensive was efficient. I thought Tyleek played another big game. I thought Tommy played a little better. Still, I don't know what's going on with Steele, man. They got what's the other linebacker, Cody Simon, in there. He's been playing a lot of football, so hopefully he could do the job. Just the linebackers just haven't been like what I thought they were going to be this year. I thought they was going to be a lot better, but it's a work in progress. But the D line is looking better. Jack Sawyer, hey, I've been down on Jack Sawyer. He had a solid game. He still gets off the ball too slow to like make a really big impact, but he got a sack, made some plays, and hopefully that can get us some confidence. I'm all big on building confidence. And so he did that. And JT was, man, did y'all see that spin move? Oh, They look like Dwight Freeney, man. He needs to do that more. He needs to, instead of bull rushing, he needs to, man, that spin move is brutal, man. Like that is Dwight Freeney, man. That dude's spin move was wicked right there. That tackle didn't know what hit him, man. It was just so smooth. Like, oh, I love that, man. He needs to use that more often to get to the quarterback. But D-line was wicked. They're gonna have to be huge this Saturday. Like they're gonna have to be huge. Best game they played yet. They're gonna have to really play big. And secondary was awesome. Not a really lot of work. I think Iggy gave up one. They tested him a few times. He's the one you probably gonna have to go against, but he was actually pretty solid. Like he was pretty solid in coverage. Like they tried him, and he gave up one. He gave up one. I give him that. He gave up one, but for the most part, he was pretty solid. Latham was Latham. Proctor, they really get tested a lot downfield, and Sonny played pretty good. The one that's scary is Denzel Burke, man. Like I don't know, like I'm pretty sure every Buckeye fan's been waiting to see the prognosis on that, or if anybody been seeing something. Buckeye Nation is crazy. So I've been on Twitter trying to see if people got pictures of him or something, or they saying he wasn't back on the sideline. He went back to the locker room, and so I don't know, man. Like we kind of need him to really to be on the field, because although Penn State defense is automatic and their running backs are really good, the receivers, to me, and the quarterback is where you can kind of, if we can stop the run, this is where you can kind of, get them. But once again, I'm not going to get to Penn State week just yet. It's Penn State week, but I'm gonna focus on Purdue. So I'll save that conversation for another day. But I'm worried about Denzel Burke, man. I really am. He's a guy who's been playing like All-American. He's playing like a first-round talent. He's playing to a point where it's like the kid is kind of locking people up. You know what I mean? Like they're not even really throwing to a side. I feel like he's really been, kind of doing his thing out there on that corner position. And if he's not healthy, or he's going to be limping into Penn State, it's just not good. But we'll see what happens. That's why we got depth. That's why we got Hancock. I guess you had to move Jermaine Matthews, who was dominant in the special teams game. You can kind of, I guess, move him outside or Hancock. Then we're going to play the slot. It's like, do you trust Cam Martinez? I don't. Sorry. Like I don't think he's a corner. I think he's an offensive guy. He was drafted. He was played quarterback in his high school. I just don't think he's a corner. You know what I mean? I don't think he has the intangibles, the length, the size, the point of attack to play corner. I really don't. I've always thought he was an offensive guy, and for Denzel Burke to go down, it's just one of those things where you just got to try to stay as healthy as you can. And hopefully we hear something back on Denzel Burke about the injury, and hopefully he can play and at least be himself. It's when you get an injury, it's like you don't feel yourself out there, especially playing a big time game. So because we're gonna need everybody to play special. We're gonna need people to be special this Saturday. But I can't complain about the performance. Was it perfect? No. It's not. No team is playing really perfect. If you look around, nobody's really playing perfect. I think Georgia gave up like 20 after they looked like the quote unquote number one team. I mean, Michigan's looking dominant, but just watching them here and there, the defense looks unreal, but I don't think the offensive line is as good as it was. And I think they rely on JJ to make a little bit more plays this year, which he's like he can, but once again, that's really not their MO. They're line of scrimmage, run the ball, ground and pound. So we'll see. I don't know. It's pretty wide open. The Buckeyes can get past Penn State. I think it's looking up for them. But Purdue, like I said, it was a good game, solid game, nothing spectacular, pretty efficient. Got out of there with a roll win, with a West Division opponent. And we just got to, get ready for Penn State. So I'm excited to where we at. We just got to stay locked in, man, and kind of go from there. But hey, 6-0. So anyways, that's my recap for the I'm sorry, for the Ohio State versus Purdue podcast. As you can see, I'm excited for this week, man. I love big games. But this is another recap of the Ohio State versus Purdue Boilermakers, 41-7 Buckeye win. Once again, another episode of Walks Buckeye Talks. Like, subscribe, comment, feedback would be great. But all in all, man, I'm happy for the performance from the offense and the defensive side. Hey, it's Penn State week, so let's get with it, Buckeye Nation. Let's make some noise, and I will see you guys next week.